Hi guys, welcome back to Life with Linda. My daughter sent me a recipe today that I thought was pretty interesting. It was air fried. You air fry your tomatoes and you make it into like a sauce. In my opinion, it looked like a beautiful soup. So today I'm going to arrange my tomatoes on the pan. These are all from my garden. I think I might get a few more. There we go. So you just arrange them on your pan like this. I had these tomatoes sitting there. These are from my garden. I was waiting for them to get a little bit more ripe before I canned them. But this is just a nice variety of another way to do it, to use up those tomatoes. Because I think I've said before, I have a million more in my yard where these came from. So I got to think of creative ideas. And she sent me that recipe, and I thought, well, wouldn't that be cool to share with you guys? So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take garlic, and you're going to simply sprinkle a bunch of garlic all in here with these tomatoes. Just sprinkle it in, just like that. Because what's going to eventually happen is it's going to air fry and get, soft. So you'll have to follow the process. And you'll see what happens in the end. These garlics are all from my yard. I was going to go ahead and dry them and make garlic powder, but you know what? I don't really have enough of them to do that. The next step is to take a red onion, slice it all up, sprinkle that on there. These are also from my yard. So I grew some parsley. That would be another seasoning you could add to this, which would be really good. So I'm just going to cut that parsley up a little bit and have it all over the place here. This is fresh parsley. I have a little spice garden that I grow. This is from that. So next step would be to put some salt on these. I would be a little bit generous with the salt, because that's me. And some pepper. Oh, one other thing I didn't pull out was some crushed red pepper flakes. I'll be right back. Crushed red pepper flakes. They want you to put some of that in there for just a little spice, I guess. So I'll do that. And last but not least, they want you to add olive oil to all this. The recipe I took it from said 3 tablespoons. But I'm just going to coat each tomato, probably about 2 tablespoons on my end. And then you've got to mix everything up with your hands, with your clean hands. And you have to make sure everything is coated well with all the seasonings and the oil. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And now I'm going to put it into my air fryer for 15 minutes at 350 degrees. Okay. So that's going. The next thing I want to make today, while we're waiting on that, is I'm going to make some pico de gallo. I just have a craving for it today. And I have everything I need for it. Tomatoes, jalapenos, onions. I have lemon juice. What else do I need? Salt, pepper. Oh, and cilantro. So I have all that. So I'm going to get that prepared and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I have the ingredients here for the pico de gallo, which consists of a jalapeno. Well, this is a huge jalapeno. I think one would be fine for me. You might want two. A diced up onion, finely diced. You don't want it. You want it to be pretty fine because this is going to be like a salsa that you're going to dip chips into. So you don't really want it to be any kind of large pieces at all for any of this. You just dice up your onion very fine. So there's your finely diced onion. Add that to your bowl. Next, we're going to dice up the jalapeno. I don't usually have an issue with, I gotta have my compost bin. I don't usually have an issue with heat on my hands, but honestly, you might want to have some gloves on. Some people have that problem. And absolutely don't put your fingers to your face or your eyes. Oh my goodness. That would be a huge no-no. So I'm just chopping it up as finely as I can here. I can smell it. It's strong. That's okay. I like it that way. Okay, there's your jalapeno. And next you're going to dice up your tomatoes. So you're going to want to take out the core, the stem, I should say, core, whatever you call it. And I put that in my compost thing. And just slice her up. Finely dice it up. So I'm going to do that. To each of these tomatoes, and I'll be right back. So that's about 4 medium tomatoes. I think I'm going to put one more in. Maybe 1 or 2 more in actually. You gotta take out the stem and then you can just slice it right up. I usually sharpen my knife about halfway through the process. I really like a nice sharp knife, especially when it comes to tomatoes. This is, what the heck's the name of them? It starts with an R. I'll find out. I'll link it below. I forget. But these are good knives in my opinion. Everybody has their own take on it, but I think these are good knives. Rattan? Sounds familiar, or Rattan? I forget. But anyway, this was a really good way to use up some of those tomatoes I had sitting out that are ready to have something done with them. And I'm just, it's a welcome change from canning, you know, because I have a million more out in my yard just waiting. So I didn't harvest tomatoes today, although every day there's something out there waiting for me. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow so I can get more. and maybe do some canning, more canning tomorrow, rather than do it in bits and pieces. Because I never like to start my canner, get my canner going, unless I have enough to basically fill it. You know, it takes 6 or 7 quart jars and many, many more pint jars, or many, many more pint jars, not and, or. So now I'm going to cut up the cilantro to go in it. It's the air fryer telling me the tomatoes are done. So we'll be able to get to that next step. Yeah, this just really sounded good to me today with some chips for dinner, actually. This just kind of hits the spot. So it's just about that much, and of course the rest goes in my compost bin. Unfortunately, I didn't grow the cilantro. I have found here in Texas that cilantro, for one, doesn't like heat. So if you're going to grow it, you need to really grow it in the fall or early spring, because otherwise it'll just go to seed. It'll bolt. That's what it does. So to this, we're going to add a little bit of salt. Just eyeball it salt-wise as to your own preference. And we're going to add some lime juice. I always like fresh over bottled, but I only have bottled today. See how that works out. Probably going to be delicious. I'm excited. And then I just let it sit for a little while so everything marries to each other. All the flavors marry to each other. And that's it. And then I'll come back and show you what it looks like when I plate it, and with my chips. With my tortilla chips. So this should be good. Should be kind of refreshing. Sure smells refreshing. It smells amazing. Okay, I'll be back. So look at those beautiful roasted tomatoes. My goodness. That was just such a simple thing to do. And look at them. So our next step here is to put them into the food processor or blender. The recipe actually calls for blender, but I don't like pulling mine out. It's just easier for me to get to my food processor. So you just add them in there. I might have to do it in batches because I can see I'm not probably going to have enough room for all of these. But you add in everything, all the juices, everything goes in. All the tomatoes, all the garlic. All of that goes in here. Let me mulchify those down a little bit. So I'm going to mulch those down a little bit. Oop. Or not. What the heck's going on? I'll be back. That was weird. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to mulch. And then I'm going to add some more. And it comes into this beautiful sauce. And it's got to give you a little bit of a roasted taste. Oh, it's going to be so good. I'm so excited. This is a great way to use up these tomatoes. I think it would make a perfect cream soup. I think after all said and done, you can put it in a pan on the stove and you can add some cream to it. Make it a cream of tomato soup. It just sounds delicious to me. But I think in the meanwhile, you can probably just can this, you know, like I do my tomatoes, and you can just open one up whenever you do want to have a soup. Oh, this is delicious. I'm telling you, this is a great recipe. Thank you, Tammy, my daughter, for referring me to it. I will be using this recipe again in my future. Look at that. All that goodness goes in there. Look at that. Yum. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay, so let me go ahead and multiply that a little bit. I hope it doesn't come up. Oops, yeah, it's coming out. I figured it would. I'm just going to pulse it a little bit. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Look at that beautiful, beautiful soup. It's beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and can that up and keep it in my fridge until I'm ready to use my... I want to take a little taste of that. See what it tastes like, and I'll let you know. I'll keep it in my fridge till I have enough bottles to put into my canner. Ooh, look at that, huh? That is so good. It would make a perfect soup. Cream of tomato soup. Yum. Holy cow, yeah. It got a little bit of a different taste. It's got a roasted taste. To me, it needs a little salt though. So I'm going to add a little bit of salt to that. Of course, that's me. Me and my salt. Let me mix that up a little. There's so much in there. It's leaking out. That's why I'm taking precautions here. Let me try that. Oh yeah. Oh, you guys, you got to try this. This is absolutely amazing. Okay, well, thanks for stopping by today. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed these recipes. It was just a quick one, but boy, that was a great way to use up some of those extra tomatoes, and I just hate wasting anything. I think I've said that a million times before. So this was a perfect way to use up some of them, along with the Pico. So good. It was amazing. Okay, bye guys. Later. Okay, I just wanted to bring you back real quick and show you what we ended up with. So I got 2-quart jars of the Pico de Gallo, which is not going to be canned, not going to be preserved. That's going to go in the fridge. And I got 3 pints of the chickens or the tomato soup, which is going to go in a water bath, but for the time being it's going to go in my fridge till I get enough to do a full water bath. So yeah, this is really cool. This is a lot of food for me and could be for you. So add like a grilled cheese to that tomato soup and you got it made. Okay, thanks, bye.